most of people watching this video should probably not start an Amazon business. I know how strange that sounds, coming from someone who's been selling in Amazon for almost 10 years now. Someone who still sells a course teaching people how to do it. But I'd rather tell you the truth than take your money and watch you fail. Because here's what nobody selling you the dream will admit. Amazon will quietly burn most people who started. Not because Amazon doesn't work, it does. Almost everything sells on Amazon. Even matches sell for almost $80,000 a month. Yes, matches. I'll explain why that little detail matters more than any winning product later in this video. But first, let me tell you who Amazon is actually for and who is going to cost a lot of money and headaches. Because at the end of this, you will know exactly which one you are. Let me take you back almost 10 years to why I started this in the first place. I had a job. I had my son who was in and out of hospital, and I wanted out. I wanted to quit and spend my time with him. I hated being away so much that I wanted out badly. So I did what most people do. I looked at Amazon, I saw the numbers, and I thought, that's my way out. I'd see a screenshot of someone's sales, huge numbers, 10 of thousands a month, and something in me went, I want that in my account. That feeling is exactly why most people start. Not because they understand the business, because they saw the screenshot. And here's the first hard truth. I thought I would replace my job in 3, maybe 6 months. It actually took me 2 years. 2 years before this became anything close to what I had imagined. And I was committed. I was not dabbling. So when someone tells you you'll be quitting your job by the summer, I'm not going to pretend this is normal, because it isn't. It wasn't easy in the beginning, and honestly, it still isn't easy now. Anyone who tells you otherwise is telling you something. At the start of my journey, I went to so many events, seller groups for Amazon, and I made friends, people I really liked. And if I'm honest with you, most of them don't sell on Amazon anymore. They're gone. That's not being negative. If there is one thing that's been consistent about Amazon, it's change. Those who adapt survive, those who don't disappear. Now, here's the thing everyone obsesses over, the product. Just tell me the winning product. What should I sell? As if there is one magic thing, and once you find it, you've won. I'll be straight with you. Finding a product is one of the least of your worries. Let me prove it. Remember the matches? They sell around $80,000 worth of matches. So matches is about the most boring, basic product you can imagine. No secret, no untapped gold mine. So why does it sell? Because everything around the product, the strategy, the listing, the brand, the other product that lifts the average order value, the marketing, they don't just sell matches, they have a strategy. If you want me to analyze this particular brand, tell me in the comments. So they don't just find one winning product and stop at there. There is far more work to be done. And that's the part nobody wants to hear, because it's not exciting. To succeed in Amazon, you have to wear about 10 different hats. You should have the best product in the world. But if you can't write a listing that converts, can't drive traffic, can't manage your cash flow, can't read how Amazon actually works, that great product just sit there. The winning product is a myth people chase, so they don't have to face the real work, becoming the kind of business owner who can sell anything. And I learned this the hard way, not as a theory, but from sitting with real students. I genuinely wanted my student to succeed. With my first group, I ran live coaching sessions every other week for 2 years. And you know what the number one question was every single time? What product should I choose? Every session. We went through countless examples. We analyzed product after product. We looked at strategy after strategy. And the question never changed. Different week, different faces, same question. What product should I choose? Eventually, I stopped doing those live sessions because I finally understood something I couldn't unsee. Most beginners aren't actually looking for a product. They are looking for certainty. They want a guarantee that they will succeed before they begin. And that product, the guaranteed one, doesn't exist. It never has. What really keeps people stuck isn't lack of product, it's fear. Because here's the quiet logic of it. If you never choose a product, you never launch. And if you never launch, you never fail. Staying stuck feels safer than taking action. But that fear That need for certainty before you move is the single biggest reason most people never build a business at all. Not the product, the fear. Let me show you the trap that catches almost everyone, because this is where the fantasy meets reality. You see someone doing $100,000 a month in sales, your brain hears they're making $100,000. They're not even close. Walk it through with me. Amazon can easily take around a third of your sales in fees and fulfillment. Gone. The big chunk goes in advertising. And in 2026, ads are expensive. And I'll come back to that. Then there is taxes. And if you sell in Europe, there is VAT, shipping, inventory. And then before you take a single penny for yourself, you have to buy more stock or you have nothing to sell next month. So that 100,000 in sales, what actually lands in your bank and stays there, is a fraction of what people imagine. And here is the mistake that kills businesses. People spend that early profit on themselves. They treat Amazon like a monthly salary. So the business never grows because they keep eating the seed instead of planting it. This is the part I most want you to understand because it reframes everything. Amazon is not a salary. It is an asset. Let me explain it in the way it finally clicked for me. Think about it like buy-to-let property. People buy a rental property expecting to pocket loads of money every month. But in reality, most of that rent goes onto the mortgage, the maintenance, the costs. Some months they're paying out of their own pocket. You will meet property investors with 10, 20 houses who are still tight on cash every single month. So why do they do it? Because they're not building those houses for this monthly income. They're building something that will be worth a fortune later. They're building an asset. Amazon is exactly the same. Most people launch one product and expect it to replace their salary. But even a profitable product rarely hands you a life-changing monthly income. The people who actually win think completely differently. They take the profit from one product and pour it into launching a second, then a third. They keep building brand, range, average order value until they've created a business that's genuinely worth something. And that's where the real money is, not in living off one product's profit. In building a business you can one day sell 1 million, 2 million, even more. The exit is the price. And its price you can reach far faster with Amazon than with almost any property or traditional investment. That's the part that's genuinely exciting if you are in it for the right reasons. But that's also exactly where most people give up. They decide Amazon doesn't work, when really were expecting one product to fund a lifestyle. And that was never how this works. I won't pretend it's the same game it was when I started either. Today, it's not just the learning curve. Amazon is far more competitive. If you want to launch a product now and rely on Amazon PPC alone to get it off the ground, it can cost a fortune. And a lot of sellers, that math simply doesn't work anymore. You now have to know how to bring traffic from outside Amazon. TikTok, social media, influencers, content. External traffic is what lowers your ad cost and actually gives a new product a fighting chance. So the skill bar is higher than it was. That is just the truth in 2026 and beyond. So let me do what I promised at the start. Let me tell you honestly which one you are. Amazon is not for you if you want to quit your job in the next 3 or 6 months. Please don't start for this reason. You'll be disappointed and you'll blame Amazon when the problem was the expectation. 2, you're starting because you saw a screenshot and you want a piece of that. That's not a strategy, it is a feeling, and it fades the moment it gets hard. 3, you've got maybe 10, 20 or $30,000 and you're expecting life-changing money from it quickly. With that starting capital, overnight wealth isn't realistic. Maybe if you invest $1 million with real experience, different story. But that's not where most people start. And finally, you don't want to learn because you have to wear all 10 hats, whether you like it or not. So if any of these applies to you, Amazon is not for you. Amazon is for you if you're willing to treat it as a long-term business, not a 6-month shortcut. You reinvest your profit to build something instead of spending them on yourself too early. You're ready to learn the skills, make mistakes, and get better. Listing, marketing, cash flow, traffic. You understand you're building an asset to eventually sell, not a salary to live on next month. If that second list is you, then honestly, go for it. I think Amazon is one of the fastest way to build a real sellable business. Learn it properly and you can build something genuinely valuable. But I want to leave you with something bigger than Amazon, because if there is one thread that ran through this whole video, is this: adapt or die. I said it at the start, Amazon always changing, and the people who don't change with it get left behind. Well, that's not just true of Amazon anymore. It's true of everything right now. And the thing forcing everyone to adapt today is AI. And I'll be honest with you about where I sit with this. I'm Gen X. I did not grow up with this technology. I'm not naturally a tech person. It doesn't come easily to me at all. For a long time, I'll admit, AI overwhelmed me. It felt like one more thing on a pile of things I was already drowning under. But adapt or die applies to me too. So last year I made a decision. I dedicated a whole year to learning AI properly, not dabbling, really learning it, because I could see how important it was becoming for my business. And I'm so glad I did, because now I genuinely feel like I've got all the tools I need to run my business. And a lot of the overwhelm I used to feel about this tech side is gone. AI is what removed it. So here's where I landed. After almost 10 years on Amazon and a year buried in AI, most people who come to me thinking they have an Amazon problem, they don't. They already have something they're good at, a skill, a service, a message people would pay for. What actually stopping them isn't finding a product. It's that they feel buried under the tech, the tools, the how I even get this online. Exactly how I used to feel about AI. And that's the part I find genuinely excited now. So if Amazon is for you, brilliant. Everything you need from me is linked below, and I'll keep making honest video to help you build it. But if Amazon isn't for you, while watching this you realize your real challenge is everything else, the tech, the AI, getting what you already know out in the world, then I'd actually love to know. Tell me in the comments, are you trying to get grips with AI? Does it overwhelm you the way it overwhelmed me? Because I spent a year finding the tools that finally made it simple, and I want to start sharing them with you. So that's where the channel is going next. Either way, I'd rather tell you the truth than sell you a dream. That's the whole point of what I do here. I'll see you in the next one.